Hello everyone, and Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much for tuning in today on this happy holiday. And this is it. This is the end of Killershrewfan's 12 days of reviews. And you know, the hardest part of all of this was definitely deciding which figure I thought was deserving of our last day of doing this. Which figure was special enough to look at on Christmas? Which figure deserved our 12th day? And after combing YouTube for a while and careful consideration, I finally landed on a figure because I wanted to do something truly special, truly unique. And after looking on YouTube, I didn't find any other videos on this guy, so I want to do it for you right here and right now on Killershrewfan's Killer Toy Reviews. So our figure for today is this guy, the Battat Utahraptor. And, you know, this really is a great figure upon first impressions, and I think he is definitely one that is deserving of our last day of reviews here at Killershrewfan's 12 days of reviews. So without further ado, we're going to give you guys a closer look at this figure, and I hope you enjoyed yesterday's style of review, because we're going to go ahead and do that again. Alright, let's do this. So, starting off at the head, as we are wont to do here at Killershrewfan's Killer Toy Reviews, you can see we've got a very classic dromaeosaur shape to that skull, with the classic dinosaur eyes staring out at you with the yellow iris and the black pupil. The teeth and the mouth have been sculpted individually, but they are very tiny and almost non-existent, which is a very big letdown on this model. As you can see, we have once again ditched the scales in favor of the wrinkles, which go down the neck, all the way across the abdomen, down the legs, and up the length of this gracile and erect tail, which is being held out stiffly upwards above the Utahraptor figure. And, you know, I do like scales on my dinosaurs, but the skin is done in such a way on this model that I can forgive it. I mean, it just feels so very natural, the way the skin is bunching up and folding under the weight and pressure of the muscles and the movement of this particular model and the stance that they sculpted it in. Now, a lot of people might complain that this model is not feathered as it should be, but given the age of this particular rendition of the Utahraptor, I think I can let it slide. Plus, it's sculpted so well, without feathers. Now, another great thing about this model are those claws. I mean, just look at those things. They look sharp and deadly, and really, when you feel them, they really are pretty sharp. And I think that's a real triumph of this model, is how they sculpted the weapons in such a way that they look deadly. They're not dulled down for safety. This thing really is just like here to show you the business end of the Utahraptor. They are not weathered in any way, they're just painted a sleek black, but given the way they're sculpted, I can forgive it. I mean, the sickle claws, the signature claws, just look deadly, and it really works to emphasize how dangerous this particular species would have been and how effective of a hunter this thing most likely was. Now, I do have issues with it, and it really is this tail and how it is held straight up in the air. You have to pose this model standing on all fours with its claws as additional support, but the unfortunate thing about that is with the tail straight up in the air, it kind of looks like a snooty cat. You know, like one of those cats that's leaving a room in a huff, which is unfortunate, but it does lend itself to some pretty cool display options, and we will definitely get into that. Something else that's really worthy of note here is the coloration. I love that color on this model. It's got a creamy underbelly and then a golden back with black spots adorning the length of the body. It really reminds me of a cheetah in its coloration. I'm not really a huge fan of the brown mask that they painted on, but I wish they had continued the gold coloration up there. But it really reminds me of the BBC Walking with Dinosaurs version of the Utahraptor, which I think is pretty darn awesome. Yeah, but yes, I do wish that the gold continued up onto the head rather than having that brown mask. But I do like the black stripes that are on the face. Those things are pretty cool, I must say. Now for size comparisons, this model measures about 5 inches from the tip of the snout all the way to the tip of the tail, and then about 4 3/4 inches off the ground, somewhere in that zone. We brought in the fan favorite Safari Limited Carcharodontosaurus for size comparisons, and we have reviewed him, so link will be down in the description, but hopefully he gives you an idea of the size. Now we have the fighting Dilophosaurus in there, and this is just one example of the cool display options that you are given with this Utahraptor, and how it looks like it could be pouncing on some sort of other dinosaur. If you have 2 of them, that would be kind of cool, make them look like they're fighting. But yes, this just gives you an idea of how you can do that, and also link is down below for the fighting Dilophosaurus video review. And finally, my favorite size comparison, we have the original Battat Parasaurolophus with the Utahraptor, and when I have this model posed up in an attack position, I can understand why that tail is straight back. It really does look like it's there for balance, and it also, if it was straight, you might not be able to have this sort of posing option going on, but this allows you to create very dynamic dioramas. I really do love the fluid and active pose of this Utahraptor, and I hope this Battat Parasaurolophus gives you an idea of the size. Link is down below for the Terra review of this figure, and they're the same model, so if you have the Terra Parasaurolophus, you get an idea. Well guys, that's gonna do it for us here at Killershrewfan's Killer Toy Reviews, and that will conclude our look at the Battat Utahraptor. This figure has so much awesome stuff going for it. It really does. I mean, the coloration is great, the sculpture is great, the wrinkles are great, the claws are fantastic. This model really is the total package, if you can forgive the naked element of it. But overall, I think I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8.5 out of 10. It really is something. If you find this figure, snatch it up and never let go, because it is so unique and cool, and it is really one of the crowning jewels of my personal collection, in my humblest of opinions. Now, finding this guy can be a little tricky. He does pop up on eBay from time to time for prices ranging between $25 and $50 used, but if you get him new, you better be prepared to spend more. Also, you might be able to find him in a lot if you are lucky. But as always, I want to know what you guys think of this model. Leave all of your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Killershrewfan's 12 Days of Reviews. We do have more figure reviews planned for the new year, but I think that's going to pretty much do it for us up until then. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your support. It's the greatest gift I can receive on Christmas. Thank you all. I can't say it enough. We will see you in our next review, and have a very Merry Christmas. Killershrewfan signing off. Bye-bye.